As we all know, with the onset of summer or going on vacation to warm countries, many people tend to spend as much time as possible by the water. If you think that leisure time spent on the beach is limited only to swimming, then this is not really the case. There are many things that can leave vivid impressions and memories. In this episode, you will witness the most ridiculous moments that happened on the seaside and were captured on camera. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel so as to not miss even more interesting episodes. The turtle realized that something was wrong, and it was necessary either to save the girl from a predator or the alligator from exploitation by people. Most people are afraid of jellyfish, but not the hero of this video. He seems to be enjoying every minute in the amazing Sea Kingdom. Usually, the worm sticks its head out of the sand to feast on a dead octopus or fish, but it may make a mistake and taste your leg. After running along the beach, the bear really scared others. Obviously, this grizzly bear had its own plans for people. It's good that it changed its mind. Perhaps he does not know that there is some connection between his attentiveness to customers and tips. Now he gets nothing. A massive open water swim unites people with a common goal and energy. Even if the girl was upset or scared at that moment, this video is much better than an ordinary, very boring photo against the background of the sea. Sand can be very deceptive. You need to be careful not to stumble and fall into its trap. The ocean is constantly moving, but this is expressed not only in the form of waves, but also in changes in the water level. It is highly important to know when there will be high tide and how to behave if it is high. Parents should always be attentive and vigilant, especially on vacation by the sea, because one can face various unforeseen situations. The mother of this baby noticed the shark's fin in time, so she was able to avoid trouble. They say that a modern smartphone is something like an extension of your own hand. Not surprisingly, the man was ready to dive into the water for the sake of its salvation. The woman wanted beautiful photos from her vacation. The thing is that she chose an unfortunate moment when the wind began to rise and the sea began to get wavy. Maybe she'll have better luck next time. Meeting with these sluggish and unhurried creatures in the reserves of Florida is a common thing. Unlike aggressive hippos, manatees are friendly, so you can get to know them better. And this is not a shark attack, yet not everyone likes such a large number of fish around. This snake moves as if it has found its target, and considering that sea snakes are usually poisonous, you can understand this guy's fears. Grace and agility are not her main qualities. The largest fish in the world is the whale shark. Despite its size and intimidating appearance, it is harmless to humans. The fact is that it feeds only on plankton and small fish, opening its giant mouths, collecting water, and then spitting out water through its teeth while preserving its catch. Maybe this is not an indicator of a good team player, but it has a lot of agility and speed of movement. They say if you can do sports, you need to learn to fall. This skill is the key to successful surfing and safety. In addition to the snow white sand and azure water, you can enjoy one of the most common entertainments in the Maldives. I'm talking about feeding stingrays and sharks. And although one should be wary and avoid predators in other circumstances, here they behave like pets and just calmly wait until they are fed. People do love surfing these days, so the chances of meeting a shark have increased significantly. Fortunately, not every time predators decide to attack. Tourists were really unlucky to find themselves in a ridiculous situation. It seems that no one told them that there might be problems with the boat's engine. Fishermen from all over Nigeria come to this festival hoping to catch the biggest fish. It is unlikely that one will be able to show your skills here, but the one who is lucky will receive a cash prize. We must pay tribute to the person shooting this video. It is unlikely that he wanted to get wet under these streams of water. Someone acted very ugly and drove straight into the beach, but karma immediately punished them. Never forget about periodic fluctuations in the level of the ocean or sea. These are called tides. For the time being, he was perfectly able to restrain the flow of fish with the help of nets, but the forces turned out to be too unequal. When you think of walking on the beach, you could never imagine a strong wind and cold, but for many countries, this is a typical situation by the sea. The drone captured something incredible near the Florida coastline. A huge flock of blackfin sharks gathered in order to make an annual migration together. Princess Latifa from Dubai has her own zoo. In addition to horses, birds, and orangutans, she also has a lion and a tiger. And although these are some of the most dangerous predators on Earth, they also want to play. The fighter pilot gained incredible speed at an altitude of only a few meters above the water level. It flew so low that it seemed the power of the sound could cut the surface of the water. I'm wondering if this man near the ship wants to be among the first spectators, or if he's eager to provide some kind of help. A sand funnel formed on this beach, which literally swept away everything in its path in a matter of seconds. Such a rescue operation can be very expensive for the owner of a pickup truck. If he wants to get out on land, he needs to either rely on his physical abilities or wait for help. That's who catches all the envious glances of others, and all because this chair can bring the quality of rest to a whole new level. People living by the ocean get used to the peculiarities of the local weather. For some, these are absolutely regular waves and wind to ride a jet ski. Fireworks during the daytime can't create a proper festive mood. It's more like an unpleasant incident that has happened in the pyrotechnics warehouse. A huge wave knocked down everyone who was on the beach. It remains to be hoped that no one was injured and that everyone will remember in this case as something incredible. It turns out that camels can travel not only on the desert sands, but also on the seabed. They cross certain areas of the sea in order to get to their favorite fruit trees. It seems that seals know nothing about the concept of vacation. This woman just wanted to take photos with the inhabitants of the sea, but did not really ask for it. Some people's imagination knows no bounds. Pay attention to the guy in the seagull costume on the hoverboard who became the master of all the seagulls on the beach. And all thanks to the image and the delicacy that he throws them. The blue whale is the largest animal on Earth. There is hardly a kite capable of conveying all its greatness. The Canary Islands provide an opportunity to relax and enjoy the Martian landscapes. However, active volcanoes cause discomfort from time to time. However, seeing an eruption with your own eyes is an amazing experience. When planning a weekend or vacation, people ignore the existence of the laws of nature. The tide will not spare your things and will definitely spoil the mood if they get all wet. There are places where everyone can swim with ancient and friendly animals. However, you should be prepared for the fact that turtles will be waiting for treats and may react differently to their absence. Would you dare to take such a thing in your hand? Let this clam be small, but it looks like it's from an alien movie. When people notice that the waves are getting stronger, most make the right decision and move away. But there are also those who will stand until the wave covers their heads. Waves know no boundaries, so leaving the car in the parking lot closest to the beach, be prepared for the fact that the water may affect it. As you can see, today is not the best day to have a serene dinner. Even though such a sight is fascinating, the instinct of self-preservation shall always prevail. Why wouldn't you make this day on the beach more fun? For the love and favor of the owner, you have to fight and sometimes even take measurements to eliminate rivals. It would seem that what could be better than this kind of rest with loved ones and relaxation in nature? But you'd need to be careful and attentive even here. Can someone explain the law of refraction of light in an accessible way and why there is such a visual effect? Ingenuity is a human quality that has always helped them survive and get food, so why not use your pet skills and catch a lobster? Seals like to relax on deserted beaches. Having gained strength, they go hunting in the sea. There are many types of water sports, and this guy is experimenting with something between surfing and paragliding. Among the representatives of freshwater shrimp, there are species that live in the surf zone on wet sand, where they feed on algae washed ashore. In general, they are safe, but theoretically, they can lay eggs under your skin. These small crabs live on the sandy beaches of the tropical Indo-Pacific region. It's hard to even imagine the number of them on this beach. As you can see, the sea foam impressed the dog, and for good reason, because such a quantity of it is an extremely rare phenomenon, and an animal can easily get lost in it. Sandcastles can be different, but this one is a real work of art. Every detail in it is thought out and perfectly executed. If there were no people around, then the chances of his survival would be extremely small. The ice buildup of the coastline is a unique phenomenon when large blocks and small pieces of ice are forcefully thrown out by the shore. Walking along this beach, it seems as if you got into a fairy tale. There are several disadvantages to such a ceremony, in addition to the unpredictability of the weather. For these newlyweds, these are strangers who will forever remain in their wedding photos. After observing people's behavior for a long time, some animals may begin to imitate their actions. This seal decided that it was time to use all the benefits of the deck chairs. Some people do not assume swimming and sunbathing when talking about a beach holiday. They think only of various extreme ways of entertainment. Seagulls are known all over the world, and especially to residents of coastal zones, for their arrogance and veracity. Monkeys in Thailand are famous for their thieving habits. It looks like a whole gang attacked the boat. I'm afraid that they can steal everything from people. The waves fascinate and confuse with their beauty. Because of this, he didn't even think that there was some reason why no one was around. However, after a couple of minutes, a huge wave restored his rational thinking skills. Would you dare to jump into such sea foam? You never know what and who can hide under it. The main role in the formation of foam is played by algae, which are mixed by waves and organic waste. It is believed that the sea foam itself does not cause any harm, so if its appearance and texture do not cause rejection, you can safely enjoy swimming in it. And this bear visited the neighbors, swam in their pool, and left without saying goodbye. I wonder if it'll come here regularly now, or if it can find a better place. Whale sharks are amazing fish. They amaze us with their shape and color. Even though they feed mainly on plankton, people's blood runs cold from their appearance. Newborn turtles are very purposeful. They climb to the surface and then crawl to the water. Walruses are sociable animals that prefer to spend time with their relatives. Their subcutaneous fat layer can reach 15 centimeters, so they are definitely not afraid of cold. Not everyone wants an active holiday by the sea. Many people prefer to spend it like this. Tell me honestly, do you also envy this deer? It didn't even have to wait for a vacation to get here and enjoy the waves. Being in Egypt, you should take advantage of such an amazing opportunity and swim in the crystal clear water of a salt lake in the middle of the desert. The saturation of water with salt is very high, so you can safely lie on its surface. Various shows and festivals are often organized by the sea. This time, the beach became the venue for an event where scooter owners took a massive ride along the beach. Dogs are also not averse to doing sports. Four-legged surfers can conquer the waves together with their owners. Such a large amount of garbage and waste on the beach is a terrible sight. Beach cleaning is becoming more and more popular all over the world. Even though it affects only the very tip of the iceberg, it helps people realize the essence of the problem of pollution of the seas and oceans. Once there was an incident during a surfing competition. Suddenly, a huge wave crashed onto the shore and knocked the spectators off their feet. No one was injured, but many people's personal belongings were lost. Did you know that you can create massive geometric drawings in the sand with the help of your own footprints? The main thing is to have time to at least capture this work of art because it is very short-lived. Surfing is considered an extreme sport for several reasons. It forces you to face the water element and test yourself for strength, and sometimes meet one of the most serious threats to any surfer. We're talking about sharks. Some only complain about annoying seagulls, while others use them for spectacular pictures and videos. Most likely, the seagull was only glad that it was used like that. It is important to spend time with family and friends. Even better when there is an opportunity to spend it by the campfire near the sea, since there is some special romance in this. In October 2022, a unique natural phenomenon struck vacationers in Cyprus. This funnel of water and air formed on the surface of the Mediterranean Sea. A water tornado hit the shore and scattered the sun loungers installed on the beach. Fortunately, no one was injured. There are drivers who not only like driving on the sand, but are happy to demonstrate their skills and turn the beach into a racetrack. Life is so unpredictable. Could he have thought that he would get injured just by flying a kite? Sand sculptures are short-lived and fragile, but they can be really amazing. The process of creating them is complicated and requires special skills. Who would have thought that with the help of an ordinary fishing rod, there is a chance to catch a stingray while on the shore? Balloon flights are safe, while landing is a rather complicated procedure. Even the best pilots sometimes have problems with it. Even the wet sand under the paws is not a hindrance to the fight. It is curious what their conflict was about and what problems they are trying to solve in this way. This is a myth that has become a reality. Take a look at these abnormally high waves, which scientists are still trying to learn how to predict. From time to time, incredibly large waves appear in the seas, capable of overturning ships or bringing down tons of water on the coast. The ocean doesn't care about the price of your sunglasses, so think about it before you risk putting on the best accessories. Such a monster can shock a person who has never seen a crocodile. The locals are well aware that this crested crocodile is the largest reptile on the planet, which grows up to 7 meters and reaches a weight of 2 tons. From time to time, dwarf sperm whales lose their orientation and are thrown ashore. Being scared, the animal releases a cloud of dark red liquid, which is intended to scare away and disorient predators. This way, you can definitely get an unforgettable experience. In addition, the sea is so vast and beautiful that one wants to look at it from different sides. After a hard-working month, each of us would like to be in his place and spend some time like that. The modern practice of naturism is a way of living in harmony with nature. It includes swimming naked. Many people want to get such an experience at least once in their lives. Some people do it out of curiosity, while others because of new and unusual sensations. Either these kids have forgotten that they can fly, or they have come up with a new game on the beach. Long jumps from a place are usually included in the school physical education program. However, not everyone learns this technique well. Did you know that seals are called puppies of the ocean? And all because both they and the dogs belong to the same suborder. Perhaps their similarity could serve as the basis for a wonderful friendship. A frightening whirlwind appeared in the sea near the coast. Fortunately, its existence was short-lived and it did not bring destruction. It is not really nice to look at other vacationers on the beach, and it is simply unacceptable to discuss their appearance. However, if you have occasionally stepped on a regular beach instead of a nudist one, do not be surprised if they pay attention to you, ask you to get dressed, or leave. It is unlikely that a surfer could assume that he would not stay on the board for such a reason. The dolphin turned out to be so frisky and strong that it would fit perfectly into the rugby team. Sadly, human activity greatly affects the ocean. It absorbs greenhouse gas emissions, which is why it is getting warmer, which in turn contributes to the occurrence of extreme weather events. Enjoying life here and now is a good practice. A vacation by the sea is a place where you can easily start a bright and passionate romance. The struggle for survival and the eternal search for food bored the sea lion. Therefore, it put aside all other things and decided to sunbathe in the sun. Of course, you want to forget about strict rules and feel free on vacation. At the same time, if you decide to look too frank, it can cause so much unwanted attention that it will not be easy to relax in such an environment. Sand sculptures are short-lived, but they can be especially fascinating. The masters who create such fragile figures have the skills and know the secrets of this business.